Hey guys, happy Friday. Today's lesson, you don't need any materials for this group time, just some inspiration somewhere. One of my inspirations, you can see behind me curled up on the couch. That seems to be the spot she enjoys, and she has lots of different positions there, and I happen to think all of them are quite cute. So today actually we're going to learn a different kind of poetry, and really to me haikus are one of the best kinds of poems because it just has to do with syllables. One of the things that's sometimes stressful when writing poetry is to try to think of things that rhyme. That's what makes haikus really great, is that they just have to follow a syllable pattern, which all of you I know can do. And we've done lots of practice with haikus. I think you guys have done it with Miss Klinenberg. We did a South America one, so you guys are getting pretty good at those. So we're gonna try something that's kind of similar to a haiku. It's actually called a tanka, and a tanka is basically just like a slightly longer haiku. And tanka in Japanese means short song, and it actually came from a word waka, which was just meant Japanese song, but what waka really encompassed the word choka, which meant long poem, and tanka, which meant short poem. And then they just ended up, it sort of evolved, and I think what happened was choka, long poems, it wasn't as popular, so tanka just sort of replaced that. So anyway, that's how that happened. And a lot of times, so tankas are also having to do with syllables. Sometimes actually when they're written, they would just be in one long line. So when we think of haikus, they follow a pattern, right? They have 3 lines and it's 5, 7, 5 syllable pattern. Tankas, when they were originally written, had 31 syllables, but actually were just sort of flowing in, I guess, what they call free verse, or just a line. So now when you think of tankas, commonly they are 5-line poems. So they're just adding an extra two from the haiku, and the next 2 have 7 syllables each. So it's still 5, 7, 5, and then you've just got 2 more that are each 7 syllables. The other thing that's sort of different about a tanka, and maybe, I mean, it's not necessarily different, and you guys don't have to do this unless you're up for the challenge and you feel pretty comfortable. The 5-7-5, the first part, the haiku part, is generally about something physical. So with some of the older students, I've used the word tangible with you, right? So the thing that you can touch, its actual physical presence. And then the 7-7, the next 2 lines are really supposed to be about the emotions or feelings you get from that thing, so sort of the intangible aspect. Many times people will write tankas about love, about nature, about something they've lost sometimes, even death. It can be a moment or a memory. I do not expect yours to be that serious. Nature is always a good inspiration. That I actually didn't do any about nature. Maybe I'll do another one. But I kind of got on a roll the other night. I had asked Miss Klinenberg actually to write me an example, so I will read you her example. And then it felt sort of therapeutic. I was sort of writing them back and forth with my friends. I had asked them for some ideas, and then it really was fun. So please have fun with this as you do it. So I am going to just read you Miss Klinenberg's, and I'll read it once, and you guys can just listen. We won't do any syllable counting. Hers is very poetic. As you know, she went to college, and her major in college was creative writing. So she actually, I think she does some poetry writing herself. So you'll notice that hers is actually about nature, and then she does a really good job with her last 2 lines of thinking of emotion, and also, Pippa, stop it. Hey, stop. She's distracting me. Anyway, so Miss Klinenberg does a really good job of evoking emotion, and also she even, I think, in a way connected it to the time that we're going through right now. And maybe that wasn't her intention. I actually didn't ask her. But here is Miss Klinenberg's Tanka. And then we'll read some of my sillier ones and we'll count those syllables. And then I'll let you guys try. The blue ocean waves, delicately crested and toppled on the shore. They fill my heart with longing that we will again swim free. Yes, so that one was about nature. Quite beautiful, I think. And, oh, this is something interesting. So I had actually written all of mine on the board, which I'm going to pull over. And they had titles. And then I read about Tankas a little bit more, and they actually don't have titles. So I took the titles off. You guys can guess what the titles used to be before I took it off. So here's my first one. And this is convenient that you can, anyway, we'll just read it. Pretty plump princess, carefully pawing my nose. All she wants is love. My first cat to call my own. Queen of my heart she shall stay. That's about presenting Pippa. So, we'll syllable count together. Pretty, plump, princess. 5. Carefully pawing my nose. 7. All she wants is love. 5. That's about the physical Pippa, right? Then I get to kind of my feelings about her. My first cat to call my own. 7. Queen of my heart she shall stay. 7. So these are kind of my feelings about her. All right, I'm gonna flip the board upside down so we can read the next two. So you guys maybe are already thinking of something you would want to write about. So this one is actually written by my friend. Her name is Jenna. She wrote this one about coffee. Coffee brews and drips much too early each morning, but its sweet, strong scent gives me comfort in the dark, helps me face my day, my life. So she actually wakes up super early for work, before it's even light outside. And one of the things that grown-ups like to do when they have to get up early in the morning for work is drink coffee. So that was hers. And then this next one is mine. Singing with sirens, expressive ears, paintbrush tail, eating like a goat. Forever my ride or die. Without him, where would I be? So, singing with sirens, expressive ears, paintbrush tail, eating like a goat. So that was 5, 7, 5. And those are about the physical, right? The tangible Hank, the physical things about him. He sings, he's got these ears that get streamlined when he's walking and perk up when he sees another dog. And he's got that little paintbrush tail, it's white on the end. And as you know, he eats everything. And then forever, and that was on purpose, forever, my ride or die. Now when somebody calls someone their ride or die, that just means they spend a lot of time together. It's sort of like their BFF. So, forever my ride or die. Without him, where would I be? So those are my feelings about him. So, that is Tankas, and please don't feel pressure to do one quite yet. I have not given it to you as a language assignment yet, but if you guys want to replace one of your languages this week and write a Tanka, maybe as today's language, since your work is turned in, you could do that. Otherwise, we might assign it to you at some point. But I think not doing it as a work the first time sort of eases the pressure. Nobody told me I had to write these, but I wrote quite a few of them, and it was fun. So, all right, you guys, find a spot for music. Do you remember the name of the composer? Yep, you got it, George Friedrich Handel. Do you remember what the composition was about? It was a very descriptive ending to one of these. It was music for the royal fireworks. Some of you might remember the fireworks displays that take place at special ceremonies like world fairs and the Olympics. These fireworks are accompanied by music composed especially for the occasion. This isn't a new idea. About 250 years ago, King George I of England asked Handel to compose a music to accompany a fireworks display that celebrated peace between England and France. This is why he composed this piece for you. All right, you guys. Have a happy Friday, and remember, no school on Monday. We reminded you in Zoom, but there won't be a group time on Monday, there will not be a Shakespeare on Monday, and you do not have work assignments on Monday. So it's up to your families how you structure that, but Monday is Memorial Day, so please, whatever you do, have a nice, happy time, be kind, maybe spend some extra time outside if that is something that makes you happy. Okay, guys. See you on Tuesday for group Zoom at 10:30.